With ever more people now working from home, home offices have become more important than ever. But how do you make that work if you live in a tiny house, an apartment, or a small home? Today we're going to take a look at some of the most ingenious small space workspace setups. There are so many benefits to working from home. Not sitting in traffic on your way to the office or needing to wear pants are just two of the many advantages. The craziness of the last years saw more people than ever needing to find good work from home solutions, tiny house folk amongst them. And since more people than ever before are working from home, we want to look at some of the most unique space-saving home office solutions that tiny house owners have come up with. In their beautiful tiny forest home, Dave and Leanne both work from home and have transformed one of their lofts into a fantastic dedicated office space.
That design changed after we moved in because we realised where the desk was going to be under the window, we wouldn't be able to access the storage on the other side of this big tower. So we've got the shelf facing the blank wall now without a window, which in a way is better because we haven't got the glare and you're not blocking it with a big screen, but the plug point's in the wrong place, but it's okay. We're happy with it. I think it's turned out quite well actually. So we decided to put carpet tiles just to get a feel of what we wanted on the floor because the wooden floor was too slippery because we wheel ourselves around on the chairs instead of walking, and it was like sort of almost come down the stairs on the other end. So the carpet tiles just slow us down a little bit. So we're going to see how we go. We might change the floor one day, but for now it works.
When space is limited, it can be a great idea to incorporate multifunction into the design. In Brenda's shipping container, she has an incredible desk design which also transforms into a guest bed.
Because I work from home, obviously, I've got 3 screens set up, my printer, lots of space. Then the beauty of this contraption is it also converts to a double bed. So when I have guests come round, this becomes a spare room for them. I love to entertain, and being in Taupo as well with most of my friends still in Auckland gives them an excuse to come down and hang out and stay for free, which is great.
Jason and Summer have a beautiful, modern, off-the-grid tiny house and both work from home, Jason as an entrepreneur and Summer as a graphic designer. This clever loft office design is compact and provides a super comfortable space for them both to be able to work from home.
I saw this design for the office loft in another house and I was like, we need that. Being able to sit up in an office and your feet hang down in the alleyway there, I thought it was a really cool feature.
When Summer showed me that was just like, yes, absolutely. Now I'm fully on board with this tiny house. Working up there, it's just such a decent separation from the rest of the house, and the amount of space that gully for your feet gives you is phenomenal.
Standing desks are becoming super popular and have a lot of health benefits. In this amazing tiny house in Queensland, Colin and Megan have cleverly used the entrance of their loft to allow for the addition of a standing office space.
I set it up there originally thinking I would sit down, but found that it worked perfectly to stand on that step and work like a standing desk that lots of people are finding are better for them anyway.
Without a doubt, one of the most brilliant tiny home office solutions we've seen so far comes from the Cocoon tiny home in Melbourne. Christian and Shani have a wedding photography business. That means hours of photo and video editing, and so it was essential for them to build a space in their home where they could both work comfortably. Best of all, the whole office completely hides away when not in use.
We've got space for our work gear, our camera equipment. We've even got some pull-out desks.
Just makes it easy to push it away, and that's work done for the day,
Yep.
like closing a door.
Clock off.
And we just jump in and enjoy our lounge.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to have a workspace that's set up all the time. In Gina's tiny home, she's incorporated a very clever table which can be set up and used as a workspace and more.
So that's a bracket for the Lagoon table leg. It's a really popular table in RVs and boats. The base of it clips onto the bracket and then the table sits on top of that, and it swivels in all directions, so it's a really versatile piece of furniture. You can drop it down to coffee table height or bring it up to like a dining table height. So it makes a perfect little spot to work at or eat at, and it's easy to move around too if you want to get out. Often boats and tiny homes have fixed tables and you have to do like a bum shuffle to get out from behind the table. But with this one, you can just push it out of the way and get up and walk off.
Very clever. Rebecca is a designer who works from home. She spends many hours working on her designs, and so a high-functioning office space was a real priority in her tiny home.
I'm a bit of a workaholic. I spend most of my time at my desk if I'm not with my son. So it was important that it was a beautiful space to be in. I didn't want it to be tucked away somewhere. So yeah, really happy with it, overlooking the lounge. And if Hugh goes downstairs in the lounge, I can see him from my office and also get to look out at the view. Yeah, it's just a bit distracting having my bed right there.
Right.
Sometimes, but no, I love it.
Of course, not all jobs require working on computers. Trace is an artist who has designed a fantastic workshop space in her tiny house.
The studio is the main thing here. And you need a sink for it. You need, sometimes you have to boil things up. So this is not a kitchen.
It's all the studio. And sometimes you just happen to prepare meals in here. I really like how you've done this back wall too.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that because people think they're all bits of timber that I've painstakingly put together and then stenciled on, but it's just wallpaper.
Yeah, it definitely makes it look very busy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be. You got to think I'm a busy person.
It's where all the work gets done.
This is the industrial side.
So tell me about your art and the kind of things that you create in this space.
Well, it just depends when you talk to me because it changes all the time. But at the moment, I make jewellery out of copper.
Beautiful.
And I do some copper birds and things like that, yeah.
Sometimes a job isn't just a job. Sometimes it's a passion or an obsession which requires much more dedicated space. In France, we met a musician who turned his whole lounge into his workspace, building an amazing music studio.
So the living room is more a music studio room, actually, because there is a huge part dedicated to the music. That's where I compose music, for example, for Le Grand JD YouTube channel, and so on, some documentaries and short movies as well. Mostly orchestral stuff. And I have a lot of synthesizers on reverberation, analog synth, and a master keyboard, which was for me a complicated choice because in my last house I had many other synths and I had to choose one because I can't have many here. So I did carefully choose my main keyboard, which slides to get some centimeters of space. Everything has been designed around my musical gear. And I have to admit that I'm really happy, especially because of the landscape. I don't know if it helps, but it's better to have a great view when playing music.
Amelia and Dan have a fantastic work from home setup that amazingly fits under their couch. Amelia has her own e-commerce business, and so a comfortable place to work is essential.
Rather than just sitting on the couch and working, I can sit at my work from home desk.
Definitely having your own business. It is just so important to be able to have a dedicated space that you can set up to work in. So I really like that you've included that.
Yeah, it is definitely something that was needed.
Yeah, and it's quick to assemble and it's quick to disassemble and put back under the couch.
Sometimes all you want is a temporary workspace that you can quickly set up when you need it. Ryan and Zyia have a beautiful DIY tiny house where they've incorporated a simple fold-up table that does the trick.
This is a little fold-out table and you can turn around this armchair, and I'm doing some study at the moment, so it's really helpful to have a little dedicated study space where I'm totally out of the way of the usual sort of foot traffic areas. And we chose to take a comfortable armchair rather than an office chair because when the table's not in use, you can turn the armchair around and it doesn't seem out of place.
What a good idea. If you've been looking for a way to squeeze a compact office into your own home, hopefully you found some ideas here. There's no question about it, working from home isn't going anywhere, so I'm pretty excited to see some of the new future home office designs that we've yet to feature.